Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and you haven't probably guessed it already yet, we're back on with the Ti-99 4A. We're back on a little bit quicker than I actually first thought we would be with this. I watched my video back the other night and someone actually put a comment on my video about reset lines on the CPU, and yeah, you were right. We were seeing all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff on the reset line on here, which shouldn't have been there. The reset line, really, when you power the computer up initially, it should have, I think, if I'm right, it should just go high for a second, then drop back low again. It should not be constantly triggering like we were seeing when I was playing about the other night. Now, what I've actually done, remember in the last video I was testing the SRAMs and one was getting warmer than the other. Well, basically what I've done, I've pulled the SRAMs out, I've got them here, and added some sockets, and now I wasn't expecting, I didn't know I had one, but I was having a bit of a rummage in some of my other drawers and what have you, and I have actually found, now I don't know whether it works or not, but we have got an MCM 6810P IC there, SRAM IC. So I have got one replacement for the SRAM IC. But the reason I started filming, I didn't bother filming, just changing them, putting them sockets in, because you've seen me do that many times. It was nice and straightforward. Desoldered the RAM chips. Unfortunately I didn't have two identical. They're the right number of pins. I didn't have to cut them down or anything, but they are both by different manufacturers, but they'll work. It's a pity I didn't have two of them actually, because those are the nice dual white ones as well. That's a single white one, but like I said, it will work. It means we can plug ICs back into the board anyway. But what I've just been having a little bit of a fiddle around, and with the RAM ICs out, I don't seem to be actually having that all that crud on the reset line. If I go in now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pin 6 there is the reset, and I switch the computer on. I've actually got it connected up to the monitor as well, so you can hear the beep. But if I switch on, now do you see that little spike on the scope, and it's just dropped straight back down again. Now obviously the computer's not going to do anything because it's not got any scratch RAM there, but we're not getting all that crud on the line. What I'm going to try and do, I'll put the two unfortunately what I have done, I'm a bit miffed, I didn't mark which one was the one that was getting hot before I pulled them off the board, so I've actually mixed them up. But we'll stick these back on the board. And we'll scope that pin again. And watch it look all right now. I need to put them back on because I need to figure out which one of the two was the one that was getting warmer. I mean, there might be nothing wrong with it. It might just happen to run warmer than the other IC. But generally, when you've got two ICs which are basically exactly the same, one is running, you know, significantly warmer than the other. Like I said, I've felt chips run much warmer than that and be working fine. But like I said, when you've got two exactly the same and one is running somewhat warmer than the other, it does kind of indicate that you might have some issue there. Right, anyway, I'll put those two back in. Let's go back onto pin 6 on the CPU. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is there. Let's see if that makes any difference. No. I wonder if that I was seeing last time was just an anomaly then. was no. I mean, I'll have to leave it on for a little bit just to see. I think it's that one actually, because already, even with it being on that second, that's stone cold as where that feels a little bit warm. I'll switch on though once again. In fact, one thing I did want to try, I did find like a bit of a troubleshooting guide for one of these online. It must be very old. It's all like in ASCII text and whatever. It says one thing you can try. Sometimes the sound generator IC can develop a fault, and that will actually stop it booting, but it will boot without the sound generator IC installed. So I don't think that's the issue by the fact that we're actually getting some audio out of this IC, but it's an easy, it's in a socket, so it's an easy one to try. Dear God, that is stuck in that socket. There we go, you're out. That was very tight in the socket. I very much doubt it's going to make any difference, but we'll switch on. No, we've still got the graphical corruption, but at least we can leave it on. We'll just leave it on for a minute. Yeah, I can feel it already. It's that one, because that's pretty much stone cold, and that is actually starting to warm up a fair little bit. That, well, like I say, it doesn't get to the point where you can burn your hand on it, but it does get fairly warm compared with the other one. We'll switch off. We'll put the sound chip back in, because that made absolutely no difference at all. Okay, in fact, let's just make sure that those are. That'd be a sensible thing to do, wouldn't it? It's just to pull these out and inspect the pins. That's very tight in its socket. I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I've just pulled it out of the socket a little bit and shoved it back in. Just in case there's a bad connection there. I very, very much doubt it, to be honest. Those are very, very tight in their sockets. Let's pull that. That looks okay. I have a feeling they've never ever been out of their socket before. That's back in. Let's pull the last one out. Parts of the legs where they've been exposed to the air are slightly tarnished on those two, on that one, and that one to a little lesser extent, but still that one. But where it actually goes into the socket, they are nice and clean, so I'm happy that they're all making good contact. They're making decent contact, so yeah. No difference. Right. Let's just check on there again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's try. No, I still don't seem to be getting anything on that reset pin. Right. But just try swapping that. That SRAM out. because we're either going to have really a RAM, a ROM, or a glue logic associated with the RAM and the ROM, I think is where our problem's going to be honest. That's the one I'm suspecting. Let's try taking that one out. I'll try putting this one in its place. I have to be a bit careful with the legs on this because when I found it, it was rather mangled, and it took me some time to straighten the legs out so it would actually go in a socket. There we go, it's gone in. Right, like I say, probably not going to do anything, but let's try. Well, that's interesting. Oh no, we're just back exactly as it was. Let's try. I mean, it could be that. Oh, it's just pity I haven't got anything I can test this SRAM in. I don't think any of my EEPROM programmers that can test like DRAM and SRAM can actually test anything this old. And I think the smallest SRAM they can test is something like 2K, I think. Might be 1K, but I don't think they can test anything this small. I will double check into that. But anyway, we've put the one that we suspected was possibly faulty from this board back in, and we've left that one that is unknown in. We've taken the other one out there, so let's see if that's made any difference. Again, exactly the same. I presume this reset pin's going to be exactly the same as well. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see, you get a jump on it when you switch on, but that's it. It doesn't look right, that. Right, I'll pause the video and I will start having more of a think and a contemplate, and I will come back as soon as I've come up with something, or at least come up with a plan of action. So back in a sec. Right, we're back, and I absolutely hate it when things like this happen. I stopped filming, and all I've been doing, I thought, I'll go along, I want to check what the clocks are doing, basically. So, I guessed that we've got, down on the bottom here, we had, where do we have now? We was on, pin 6 was reset, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 was reset. Then we've got IRQ, and then we have what was marked as something 1 and something 2, and I think they're 2 of the clock, because this thing uses like multiple clocks to run this CPU. Also multiple voltages, it has like 12 volts, 5 volts, you know, it's interesting and weird, this CPU. Anyway, so I was having a play about, I'll switch on now. And I was looking at these clock signals, so where are we up to now? So that is 8 and 9, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got a clock signal there. And 9, we've got a clock signal there. And I thought I'll check the other clock signal, which is up on the other top of the IC here. Which is on pin 60. So I went, where are we on there? We've got 64, 63, 62, 61, pin 60. And yep, you can see we had something on there running. And I've got it connected up to the monitor, and I'm literally just playing about like that, seeing what I got, and I looked up. what did I do? I don't actually know what I've done. All I was doing was probing around on those clock pins, and then all of a sudden, pop. Now I don't think it's working 100% yet. We're not getting that beep that we should get as we switch on. Although we're not getting the tone saying that it's, you know, there's a fault. It should obviously just come on with a beep and come to this screen. Also, if you look at the screen, we do have graphical artifacting actually all over the screen, but we've got a actual display up. Now I haven't got a keyboard connected at the moment, so I suppose that's the next thing to do. I'll quickly pause you. In fact, let me just switch the computer off, and I'll switch it back on, and we'll see if it wasn't just a fluke, and see if it actually comes back on again. There. So we're getting a boot screen. The heart of the computer is obviously basically working. That is currently with that one of the original SRAM chips, and the one that I found in my parts box in the and there actually. Now interestingly, that one there is the one that was running the coolest. I've got the one that I found and the one that I suspected actually was possibly faulty, and they're both running about the same temperature actually, which is a little bit warmer than that one. But yeah, we seem to have at least something coming up there, so I will I'll get you down back on the computer board so you can see what we're messing with here. I will get the keyboard, and we'll get the keyboard connected up, and we'll actually see if we've got any activity. I don't think the computer's going to work, like I said, properly. I still see some graphical glitches, but we have made progress, and like I said, I haven't got a bloody clue what I've done. Unless we've got like a dry joint round the CPU there or something like that, and me just probing on them pins is all it took to bring it back. That is a possibility actually. That could be a possibility. Right, anyway, I'll quickly pause the video again, and we will sort a keyboard out and see if we actually have any keyboard activity. So, back in a sec. Right, okay, as you can see, I've extracted the keyboard from the case, and I must say, these keyboards are awesome. It's like a battleship, this thing. Seriously, heavily built. That is, like I said, very, very cool, that. Anyway, I've got everything lashed up here now, and I've brought my screen down so you can see. So once I've switched it on, we can flick up onto the screen and we can see if it's doing anything. But we'll switch on. And yeah, you saw that already. Basically we are up on the computer. Alright, press any key to begin. So, oh look, press 1 for basic. It's working. That keyboard is really nice to type on as well. Oh, alpha lock is it? So how do you get your symbol up? Function. Ah, right, okay. Oh, and where's delete? No. I think someone else has had this issue, that control and that, function control and that, shift control and that, no, control and that, shift and oh, and then is it, ah, right, okay, oh dear. Right, oh, this is going to be fun. So it's function, arrow back, and then function 1 deletes, and then it's function, arrow back, function 1 deletes. Function, yeah. They could have really done with inventing the delete key. Right, function that, function that, function that. I'm determined to do the 10 print hello world. I really am. We've got this far with this computer. We've got to see it do this today, if nothing else. So where was I up to? Function that, function that, function that, function that, function. Right. Okay. Enter. Shall we see if it'll run? Look at that. We've definitely still got errors with this computer. Like I said, we've got all this glitching on the screen here, but it's basically running. It's basically booting, and I don't know why. Like, we were having all them issues, and then all of a sudden, like I said, all I was doing was just probing around here. But what I can't understand, why don't we get the power on beep? We've just the audio is obviously working because we've had beeps from it, but switch back off, switch back on, and it's just coming up. We're not getting the power, the beep. It's meant to give us power on. We press, and then it does give a beep. But I thought it was meant to give a beep just as you switch on. It doesn't. I might be wrong with that. It might only give the beep when you hit the space bar, but it's working. Every time it's booting into basic. We've seen it run a basic program. So I suppose the only thing we really need to look at now is what is causing these glitches on the screen, which I'm guessing might be the TMS 9929A there. It's still staying fairly cool at the moment. I don't want to run the computer obviously with no heatsink or anything on it for too long. I'll switch back off there again now. Yeah, I'm absolutely stoked by that. I think actually I'm going to leave this video here because I want to get this up so people can actually see, yay, we've made some progress, even if we don't know how we've made it. What I'll probably do, it's getting a little bit late tonight, so I'll probably finish it here because I don't like working on these things when I'm tired, because you make mistakes when you're tired, like me talking, not figuring out that I was having issues there last night. So I will come back to this thing when I'm feeling a bit fresher, and I'll probably reflow all the pins on the CPU there, the TMS 9900. I'm also considering, I'm probably going to change, I know I said that it weren't spew coming out of the capacitors the other day, but I think those capacitors have been suffering from a lot of heat. If you look at the wire here, let me get you zoomed in a bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Whoop, and let me get you down. There we go, that's nice. Right, if you look at this wire here, see, it's reasonably flexible. You know, you can move it about. It's quite stiff wire, but it's reasonably pliable. That there is exactly the same actual wire that's been used. If you look at it, it's baked. Absolutely baked. If I bend that, it will crack and split. Now, if that's done that to that wire, the heat coming out of that, what's it done to them two wet electrolytic capacitors there? So I will probably, I'll have to have a hunt through my spares because I want two axials, but I think I'll change those two as a matter of course, just for the simple fact that they must have got really hot with being so close to that and if they haven't failed now, they're probably going to be a close failure. So we'll swap them out. We'll probably, like I said, we'll do some reflow work on the actual CPU. I was of a mind actually to pull it out and socket it, because I was kind of convinced that that might be one of the faults, so much so I've actually ordered a couple of them online. So I don't know yet. It's one of them. Am I going to do more damage? We know that the CPU is probably okay. I'll probably just put the two that I've got actually into storage. I mean, I might get outbid on them yet, because I only put a cursory bid on them. So if I do, I do. But yeah, so basically in the next video we'll do some rework around the CPU. We'll have a look at some of these capacitors and other bits on the board, and we'll see if we can get to the bottom of that them little graphical glitches. And we might even see, I did manage to download some software for this thing, some tape image files. We might even see in the next video if we can actually get it to load up a bit of software. And even better is I've actually found out I've got, I think they come off Mildred, a box of stuff that Mildred gave me. I've actually got a pair of Ti-99 4A joysticks, so we could actually have a bit of a play about with it and see if we can get the full kit and caboodle working and playing some games. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little update on the project. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to get to this point. I wasn't actually first planning to make a video really today. I was just going to swap out those, well, not swap out, but my plan really was just to socket those two SRAM ICs. We could try putting that one back and see if the fault comes back, but we'll leave that for the next video. We might try putting that back and see, because I mean it'd prove if it works with that one as well. It knows we know we've got another good spare of those. We could also try the other two VDPs, the video chips that I've got, and then we can confirm whether all three of those actually work, and that's great because it means we've actually got some spares. So anyway, I will leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little update on the project, so I will say thanks for watching and goodbye.